Well, hello and welcome to the first episode of Cars and Minds All Kinds. Maybe you are familiar with the normal concept of Cars and Minds, in which I drive a car, mostly owned by another person, and I interview that other person. Those videos are quite time-consuming to produce, and I will continue to make them. But I also feel the urge to talk about other car-related stuff, which is less time-consuming. So, for instance, today I just wrote an article about airless tires, which reminded me of another article I wrote about the situation in America from more than 100 years ago. So I thought I'd share it with the world. So it's about the evolution of tires. Airless tires, designed to be low maintenance and nearly indestructible, have been introduced by manufacturers like Michelin, Bridgestone and Goodyear. Michelin is actively testing airless tires on the road. Some vehicles in the French Postal Service and test vehicles in Singapore are already equipped with these tires. They hope to attract major clients, including police authorities. Insights from these tests will inform further development. However, Michelin and Goodyear do not anticipate mass production for private cars before 2030, as the tire industry currently has other development priorities. Engineers are primarily focused on developing tires that meet the upcoming Euro 7 emissions standards, which includes regulation for non-emission related particles from tires. And I think that's a very good thing, because electric cars nowadays are so heavy, 2,500 kilograms and more are nothing special anymore. So that means more particles from tires. So I only think Euro 7 emission standards in which are regulation included to reduce those particles from tires is only great. To make airless tires viable for passengers' cars, manufacturers are engaging with lawmakers worldwide. That is fun, because existing laws formulated when air-filled tires were the best option for a vehicle service contact would need to be updated. And that brings me to the beginnings of the air-filled tires. In 1915, half of all cars, so more than 100 years ago, half of all cars used air-filled tires, while the other half used solid rubber tires. Trucks, around 1 million of them, exclusively used solid rubber tires, which limited their range due to rough roads and poor tire performance. I really didn't know that. In 1917, Goodyear began producing air-filled tires for trucks. To promote these, a truck traveled 2,500 kilometers from Akron, Ohio, to Killingley in Connecticut, a journey deemed impossible at that time. This truck, named the Wingfoot Express after Goodyear's logo, carried 2 support vehicles and supplies. Despite frequent tire blowouts, they quickly improved. By 1918, a year later, they set a record by driving 5,000 kilometers without a puncture. Later that year, Goodyear trucks fitted with aircraft tires, I didn't know that as well, traveled 12,500 kilometers from Boston to San Francisco to Los Angeles and back to Boston. And despite numerous challenges, including bridge collapses, which of course happened due to those heavy trucks. But Goodyear believed that using 6 smaller air-filled tires would reduce surface pressure compared to 4 larger tires. Now I know why those trucks have those double axles at the back with double tires. Great idea. When the American car industry showed no interest, Goodyear built a truck with 3 axles, setting a new record. Boston to Los Angeles and back in 15 days and 23 hours, so not 16 days. Despite initial skepticism from the American army, which feared tire blowouts from gunfire, can imagine that, air-filled tires gained popularity. By 1930, for every 10 air-filled tires produced, 1 was an all-rubber tire. By 1940, the ratio had increased to 10,000 to 1. And in the future, maybe airless tires will be the norm again. We'll see about that. Well, that's it for now. See you at another episode of Cars and Minds, or maybe Cars and Minds, all kinds. Bye-bye.